All right. Welcome, you loyal listeners, to another episode of Agency Intelligence Podcast, where I'm giving you a real agent inside a real agency, giving you the real agency intelligence and not the artificial that they try to make you believe out there. Now, let me tell you, he is an agency owner, but he's also a tech CEO. I love to always say that. CEO of a tech company puts him like in a different light, makes him... So from CEO to an agency to CEO of a tech company, still CEO of the other, but he's built such a great team. And also you got another company out there. What is it? Direct Work Comp, Work Comp Direct. What is it, Todd?
Direct Work Comp, you betcha.
Direct Work Comp. That's what it is. And yeah, so he does that as well. So, Todd, welcome to the podcast.
Jason, happy to be back on your podcast. It's always fun talking with you. I love what you do for the industry. And even some of the people that I talk to that book demos, they hear about it on your podcast. So I'd like to thank you for that.
Well, boom, boom, boom. That's the whole point of this thing. The goal is always to support the independent insurance agent, and I try to do that, but I also do it by exposing people like yourself because, let's be honest, some of your competitors are multi-million dollar companies, can be pushing all of their stuff out there. And someone like yourself, any startup is always having to manage their budget and do what we do. All of us are business owners, as loyal listeners listening to this. So it's I'm excited to kind of talk about it. And we're gonna skip the 3 questions that we always ask, because if you want to learn any of that, you can go back to some of the other podcasts that I have done with Todd. But Todd, people like me in the industry, we'll jump right into it. People who write large commercial in the insurance industry, and not even large commercial. When I say large commercial, I'm talking someone 50,000, 40,000 in premium or more, is what we would consider in our agency. And we haven't had a real bunch of options out there. And you being a work comp geek, and trying to help agents, decided to take a shift and say, I'm going to take what's out there and make this a lot more simplistic. I want to hear the whole thing, because loyal listeners, it's important that you really kind of understand, especially if you're already with some of their competitors, you're going to really, really be blown away. So Todd, give us the little story. How'd you go from agency to where you are now?
Well, so thanks for that introduction, Jason. As I think I mentioned before, I just wanted a better, easier way to communicate to my prospects and clients the cost of claims and the impact that they were having on their workers' compensation premium. And that out of that led to the beginnings and the foundation for Mod Advisor. And so the users that we have today, they tell us that we've got one of the slickest interfaces, that the reports are simple and easy to understand, and we're bringing on board users all the time, and it's nothing but positive feedback from them. The cool thing that we have that I don't think you'll find anywhere else is we actually want our users to tell us what it is that they want, and we'll build that, add that, and put that in our resource library to help them sell and prospect and win new business. And for most of the people, you get to talk directly to the founder. I'm involved daily on this thing, and we are just grinding and doing some pretty cool things.
Well, and it is, and you guys just put in the toolbox talks. Ironically enough, we had a client call in, said, hey, we need these. This is actually required. Never had this before, but Jake is the one that's had this. An excavator, they're trying to get paid on a job, and they have to show their toolbox talks that they have. I've got to tell you. Now, once again, I do nonprofits, okay? Yep. So I'm not doing contractors. But holy cow, that blew me away. And we were able to use some of the stuff that you had, and then some of the stuff that we found at like IRS government, and then we kind of built it ourselves. But where you guys have come from with your content is really, really a leading impressive part. Do you have a full-time blog writer or what?
We have several people that are full-time, that are dedicated. We bring in experts when we need to. So if you want a transportation expert on a safety toolbox talk, we have that. If you're looking, well, actually right now, I have a whole PPE webinar that we're building out that we're going to put in there. So if you've got a client that needs to be certified with the OSHA PPE program, they'll be able to do that through the Mod Advisor platform.
Wow.
And I think that's going to be super cool. That's going to help you stand out above the competition when you're like, hey, I notice you need this. We have that. We'll provide it for you via our Mod Advisor platform or your custom platform. It'll be branded to your agency, Jason. So you're the one that's going to look like you developed and maintained and built this out and are helping your client not only save money, but they can do this webinar at their own time. They can do it whenever it works in their schedule, and you're going to come out looking like the hero.
Todd, 9-1. My dudes, they worked together on this. Jake and Gavin, $572,000 work comp account. No shit. And they were using Mod Advisor as
I remember talking to them.
Justification. Yes. Huh? Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
We worked through a couple things. Yeah.
That's right. We were trying to get that adjusted. Learned a lot actually from you guys on that. The guys have learned. It's made it more simple in the other accounts we worked on. But yeah, they landed that. And when I say landed that, I mean they've been working on that. Their first call was to last year, and they called on it like 10, 15 days after the effective date, like right around right now. And they said, "Man, we got to wait till next year." And I said, "No. David Carruthers teaches that you go in right after the effective date." So I did that with them. We got to sit down. The lady, we kept trying to get in there. She blew us off all year, but she wasn't blowing us off. And they just kept at it. And sure enough, we got the opportunity. They wouldn't let us BOR or any of that stuff. There was none of that. They said we had to quote. And they knocked it out. They wrote it with Synergy. We wrote it through GenCap, which is somebody that we met when we were at Key West at David's thing. So yeah, so it was really, really cool. But they used Mod Advisor, loyal listeners, they used Mod Advisor, and the current incumbent was out because he did something wrong. We were never told. The other two agents, one of the agents came in and was impressive to them, but they said that we were just as impressive, but because of the risk analysis that we had provided them, which was Mod Advisor.
Thank you.
That was the determining factor for them to say, okay, even though the other agency is actually, if you look in the Insurance Journal top 100 brokers, they're in the top 20. But we beat those guys every time now, because they're fat, happy, and lazy, and they don't use Mod Advisor,
So I love what you just said. So the thing is that as we talk with agency owners and producers all over the country, everybody wants to start competing at a higher level and they want to start writing those larger accounts, right? Mm-hmm. And so when you're sitting at the table and you're quoting and you have to quote to win your business and you're sitting around with 3 or 4 other producers, if they have all of these tools and resources that you don't have, you're automatically going to be disqualified.
Oh, yeah.
So here your value prop is, hey, we have the same tools and resources as the top 20 agency, and we kept it super simple that the end user is able to understand what the cost of claims are. You can actually show what the ROI is by fixing those things and how it's going to reduce their workers' compensation premium, and they get that. And if you're going in with
midterm and project their mods for them.
Yep.
There's so much stuff that you can do for it. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
So I absolutely love it. So true stories, loyal listener. Yes, it's a love affair, but you have to understand it is a love affair when when the producers are writing $25,000 and $40,000 revenue, not premium, revenue accounts. Yeah, you get pretty excited on a product that you pay for.
Jason, what I would love is to talk to Gavin and get the details of that. And we'll actually do a case study on him and we'll push it out on the internet about how he leveraged Mod Advisor, won an account, and positioned himself to be the true workers' compensation professional by using our software. I love it. Thank you.
Gavin and Jake, they tagged in that one because it was like the first thing they did because they got licensed last August. Like literally made this call 3 weeks in and they worked it together. Yeah, it's fantastic. 23 years old. These guys have never made. It's just unbelievable.
No fear.
So happy for them. So where do you see Mod Advisor going? What are some of the other cool things? Is there anything out there on the horizon you want to get people excited about?
Well, I'm going to tell you this, and if this podcast releases in 3 to 4 weeks, you'll hear it here. You'll hear it here first. This is big breaking news, Jason.
Okay.
Today, actually last week, Thams Agency has been acquired. And I'm going full-time into Mod Advisor.
Wow. Thams Agency. Okay, yeah. So everybody know it's Todd's last name. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
The way it sounded out, I was like, okay, gotcha.
So
You
for
said
20
Thams.
years,
I was thinking
almost
TAM.
almost 20 years, I've been a producer, broker, agency owner. I've done all the positions from cleaning the bathroom to producer to IT to absolutely everything. It has been a great experience, and it's taught me so much in this industry. And I think the next natural step is, if we're going to change an industry and we're going to help brokers and we're going to start winning, you have to make a commitment. And this is probably the biggest commitment that I've ever made. But I tell everybody who does a demo, I tell people like you, there is no one in this country that I'm aware of that spends more time thinking about workers' compensation mods and how to improve the process and how to make it easier for brokers to win business and write new business. And now we're doing that full time.
Todd, am I correct to say you've got the excitement that you had when you first figured out you loved insurance, right? And it's not so much that faded, but you know how anything goes, right? You buy a brand new boat you wanted forever. After a couple of years, it's not the same, right? And now it sounds like you've got that love affair again. Like, dude, I'm doing something. It's time. You're rebuilding something, and good for you on the purchase or the sale. Just asking, was it a local purchase, or was this deal too good to pass up?
You know, it's a local purchase. It's going to be a good fit. I think as a leader,
good for you.
You know, there's a couple different things here, but as a leader, you want to help grow and educate your people, and give them opportunities to advance and to pursue whatever they want to in their career. And I think we've done a good job of that. Everybody who has joined me along this journey is in a better place today than what they were prior to that. And so I think this is a next natural step. We were pretty selective in who it was that we worked with. We were committed to the process, to making sure that our people were taken care of, our clients were taken care of. And the next step for me in my journey, it's like what you said. We started out selling insurance to everybody in a small town, found out that we loved workers' compensation, geeked out on that, became an expert in it, and now we're going full-blown workers' compensation mod analysis.
You know, and it's really crazy because I said this a long time ago. This is crazy. You're making me think of this. I said a long time ago now, and I'm going to be rusty here. There's 3 types of agency owners. There's the agency owner that you're going to have to drag out of the agency, right? They're going to die at their desk, right? Yep. And keep in mind, loyal listeners and everybody, one is not better than the other. I'm just saying that there's these 3 types. And then the other person is like, hey, I like the agency, and it gives me enough money to do a hobby and the things that I like to do. Right. But I don't really want to leave it until I have to. And then there's the other one who's in it to say, hey, I'm good maybe in 5, 10, 15 years building this sucker to the moon, selling it and going doing something else. There's those 3. And I think that last one is starting to become seen as, if I can turn around and make $5 or $10 million in 10 or 15 years of building an agency, why would I not do that? You know, that makes that sense. And those kind of numbers are going around for agencies that have 800 to 1 million in revenue. You can get 5, 6, 7 million. And it's like, I don't know if you can today like you could 8 months ago. For all you loyal listeners, it is 9/13, September 13th. So the economy is a little different. But yes. So anyways, well, I'm happy for you in that. And I mean, when it comes to Mod Advisor, now you're going to be able to work full time on that. We all know, I mean, how much we think we're working full time on Mod Advisor and how much time we were probably really spending at the agency still, right? Now you've cut that. How many developers do you have? What does your team look like over there?
So we're running about 9 developers on the back end right now, mostly overseas.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Full-time in terms of our marketing. And then we've got some, part-time people and some outsourced people that we work with on a daily basis.
And then how about admin or anything in the American side, or just you and the daughter? Or, huh?
Pardon me?
Like on the like admin, is it you, the daughter? Aren't you and your daughter, or not daughter?
No, it's actually my daughter's name is Haley. That's where people probably get confused. No, we actually have Haley Pardun that runs our entire marketing department right now.
That's the girl that came to BrainShare, right?
Yes, she was at BrainShare.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. 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 Fantastic girl. And she does all your marketing, everything you said?
Mm-hmm.
Nah.
Yep, she leads our team.
So it's you and her and then those developers.
You got it.
That's good, man. That's good. 9 developers. You're busting out some stuff. I know some of these other insurtechs, and they're building up pretty big systems, and they have 9, 10, 15, 20 developers. So I'm excited. That just shows that you're working on building something better than ever. What about
it takes a lot by the time you get front end and back end and Python programmers and people that are familiar with how to OCR. I mean, you need more than one because they're not an expert in one.
You know those Pythons and OCRs, man.
Those are terms I didn't know 10
shit.
years ago.
Yeah, I know. Me and Jeremy Wallace, the guy in my agency, and he's putting together all of our automations and stuff with Austin. And it's like you learn all this freaking technology, all these words that you're like, dude, what is this? This is like a whole nother language, of how you have to speak into that.
Well,
If
your users don't know what OCR is, it's optical character recognition. It's simple. I don't want our brokers and producers wasting time keying in data from a scanned or photocopied bureau worksheet. Mm-hmm. So, we parse the data to begin with. Original is always preferred, but then we made it super easy where we ran the optical character recognition. So if you've got the scan copy that you just picked up from your prospect, you can drag and drop that into our system and we'll put all of the data into our tabled format, saving you time and money.
Mm-hmm. And the butthead company that I left to come to you had to use the official PDF worksheet. If you scanned it or copied it and then tried to upload it, it didn't work. It had to be the actual worksheet. Yeah, I hated that. And so You're saying using that OCR technology. Because what's more realistic? People are going to copy it or they're going to scan a picture of it or whatever, and you need it to be able to take off there. So that makes sense. Good stuff, dude.
Well, and I think we need to realize
and then you're
that
building out more.
There's agencies of all sorts of different sizes. And whether you're a small agency or a large agency, you have so many things coming at you. Everybody I talk to right now is slammed. They're behind. Renewals are taking longer. Claims are taking longer. Underwriting is taking longer. The last thing you need is to spend 45 minutes manually entering in data that we can do with technology.
I am into that.
And so if I can, that's the story of our career. If through the use of our software, we can help somebody recapture 5 or 10 minutes in their day, I think that's huge. I actually did a demo with a large firm the other day, and the lead claim person there told me they just spent 3 hours keying in all of the losses on a bureau report because it wouldn't intake. And I had him send it to me. And I said, I'm going to show you how easy this is. And within 42 seconds, we had it done. 3 hours to 42 seconds. He couldn't believe it.
Did they have it in an Excel file?
No, they had the bureau report. So that's one of the great things about us. You can actually take the bureau report and we'll allow our users to export the payroll and the claim data into an Excel format. So you can manipulate it however it is that you want. Instantly, drag in the bureau report, get it all in Excel.
Do you have that in a video or a marketing thing to teach people that? Because Marvin doesn't know that from my office. I guarantee he doesn't know that. And, on this $572,000 account, they gave us an Excel format with 146 claims.
Yeah, we can import it. We also do an Excel import on the claim side too.
Don't tell Marvin it just came out, okay? Because when he finds out about that shit. But I need to know about that. Those are the little videos in marketing, that Haley's got to get out there for us to be able to use. Are you building some kind of video library?
So there's actually, I'll have to get back with your team. There's a video library on how to do that. And right on the top, it says import and export. So I don't know how
loyal listeners.
Apparently I need to do a better job.
No, you don't actually. That's what I'm getting ready to tell the loyal listeners. You can obviously tell how removed I am from it. I'm willing to bet also when I get on Teams and hit Marvin up, he's going to be like, yeah, dude, I know how to do that, So that's just how far removed I am from this. And, hey, I followed the advice of Billy Williams, He said, Jason, you should do Money Making Matters in the morning. And why are you in the office after 1 o'clock? You know, I still am after the office at 1 o'clock, but I'm putting in the office. I'm throwing bags. I mean, we got all kinds of shit we're doing in there. But Todd, thank you very much. We're able to do those things and play those things, and I'm able to hit big margins in my agency, something, once again, David taught me, because of the software you have, which David is an investor, isn't he? Am I right about that or no?
No, David's not an investor in our company.
Sorry.
No, he is a loyal user.
He's an investor in a lot of products.
He's an investor in a lot of stuff. We're pretty close to the vest still.
Isn't it advisor? I mean, he's really helped you try to sculpt this out, right?
We bounce a lot of things off of David. There's nobody better in terms of a voice for agents and a system and a sales process. And so I think we share a lot of aligned interests. He certainly wants to teach agents how to win and leverage their way in with work comp. And we're a tool that people can use to do that.
You know, and that's so well said by I mean, David is a very unique creature, and I think we all know that and represent that. But it's also, I mean, how dare to say that not about you and I, Todd? But it's like you know,
look what he's done for your agency, the sales, the training, the education.
Yeah, if I knew what he knew, I would want to tell everybody as well, because the people who actually listen have had dramatic changes in their agency. And it's kind of like, I was listening to Jim Rohn the other day, an old thing, and he said, did you realize that almost every successful person has written down in a damn book exactly how they did it? And very few people ever read books, you know? And when you really stop and think that from a simple form, you're like, yeah, that's so true. That's why you and I are smart, Todd, because we read books.
Well, here's the thing.
Todd,
learning
appreciate you very much. Hey, what are you doing with work comp direct thing or direct work comp? Sorry, I always forget.
So direct work comp, we wholesale to agents across the country. You know, so
you're still running that. That's still going.
Yeah. So the whole theory there is, you know, I ran an agency in a small town. We didn't have multiple carrier contracts, and we'd come across, you know, workers' compensation accounts that we needed help placing. And so I'm sick and tired of the old legacy way of fill out the Accord 125, the Accord, you know, send all this stuff in, blah, blah, blah. Take everything that's on one form and transpose it into a way that we understand. And then maybe we'll get back to you in 3 weeks.
Or say no. And you're like, what the fuck?
Direct work comp is nationwide. We operate in all states. We quote, bind, issue in, you know, however long it takes you to enter just a couple key pieces of information. And we have API integrations to a couple different carriers. And so it's instant quotes within, you know, a minute, maybe 2 minutes.
Doing a great job, dude. People say, how do you keep doing it all? It's just you see a void and you feel it. And the truth of the matter is you just hire smart people and do what they tell you to do. You know, delegating is something a smart man told me recently. Delegating, God, I got to remember it. He said you should delegate everything except for 3 things. Your legal responsibilities, you can't do that. Your relationships and death. Those are the only 3 things that you can't delegate, but you should delegate everything else. And I thought, that is some good shit. And good for you. That's the way we're able to do what we do, Todd. Everybody thinks it's us, but it's really the team that's behind us, you know?
100%. It's interesting. I just listened.
Yes. I'm giving them applause. I mean, this is not you and I, Todd. I'm giving them applause. All right. So what were you saying?
I was just to dovetail into what you said. I listened to, I think it's the Bigger Pockets podcast. It's about real estate investing or flipping. And do you remember that show on HTV with Tarek and Christina? The name escapes me. I don't know if you watched that, but they used to
seen it.
Flipper Flop. That's what it was. Flipper Flop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And he talked about 10 years ago, they landed this TV deal and they had to flip 13 houses in 9 months. And he had never flipped a house before.
Wow.
And they were sitting front row, ended up winning a TV deal. And he talks about opportunity cost and go to where the money is. And he would try and save money by spending, you know, saving the $50 by going to Menards himself and picking up the things. And one of the things that he learned over time is it's better to delegate, let the people who know what they're doing do what they know how to do, and focus on the things that make money. And so now he doesn't do any of that, but he'll evaluate hundreds of deals a month, and his skill set will allow him to determine which one of those make money, which far surpass the $50 in savings. And I think so many times we get stuck into this rut of, well, if I do this, it saves $9. If I do this, it saves $20. And meanwhile, there's technology and things out there that will make people way more productive and help them win more new business than they know what to do with. They're just apprehensive about putting those pieces and technology into place.
There's no doubt that that last minute and a half will definitely be cut by the AI team and put out there. Very well said, dude. Very, very well said. People will sit around and try to change the plumbing in their sink, and it'll take them 7 hours, and they take it during the Monday through Friday. They could have hired someone and paid $200, and it would have taken an hour.
I don't know how to do plumbing, but my favorite plumbing contractor is like, Todd, I don't know about insurance. You don't know anything about plumbing. Let's each stay on our own lane. And it's served me well.
Exactly. Yeah, I hate plumbing. I'm always just scared that it's just going to break, and it's because of me. All right, man. Hey, I appreciate you very much. Thank you very much. And people want to reach out to you, they can go to modadvisor.com, right?
Modadvisor.com. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on a little bit on Twitter.
He's
I'm
everywhere.
on Facebook. You can find me anywhere.
Yeah, if you go search Technology Awards, and you'll see him. He's always in the first, second, or third sentence, always mentioned. So anyways, Todd, good for you. Keep going. And I'm excited for your next endeavor, right? I mean, I think this allows you to do what that one person that you said to do, focus on where the money is. And it's always where your passion is, right? Your passion's there. The money's going to follow. Definitely appreciate you. Loyal listeners, I do what I do because I do it for you. Tell me your thoughts and tell me your ideas, and I'm going to tell the world what you have to say. This has been Cast Dog with Agency Intelligence Podcast, where I gave you a real agent. He sold his agency, but he still has that agency probably today until the ink is dry, giving you the real agency intelligence and not the artificial like they try to make you believe out there. This is Cass. He's Todd. We're out.
Thanks.